And then people would try to get them some water and try to do whatever they can for them. These things are not there anymore. In fact, this is another unfortunate situation with us nowadays. Before we go for Hajj, we don't learn the masail of Hajj as much as we talk about the hotels over there, and the food over there, and the accommodation, and the transportation, and the air conditionings, and all of these things. This is the main topic of the Hujjaj before they go for Hajj. That if I leave my home, how about the accommodation? 5 stars, or how many stars? And we look for those stars there. What type of accommodation? Do we have air conditioning everywhere? Before I leave my home, the air conditioning should be on in the car. And this is our concern before we go for Hajj, as far as how to use my time in Mina, how to use my time in Makkah, how to use my time in Arafah, how to go and stand before the grave of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how to visit the city of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how to say salam to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what other manners that I need before I stand over there. These are the things that normally we don't even discuss. The person goes and comes back, it was a journey for the person, that's it. As Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned in the hadith, which is in Sunan al-Tirmidhi, that one of the signs of the Day of Judgment, that Hajj for wealthy people will be just a tour. So they went out, I went out for 10 days. Went out on a tour. But the reality of Hajj is totally different. We want to go and accomplish something over there. Things that we are not able to achieve while we are in our masajid here, we get them over there. Things that we read about in Quran Kareem and in the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, we will get them over there. The person is walking in a city where the wahi was coming to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam day and night. Where the Prophet of Allah was walking, going through the streets of those cities day and night. The whole deen that we have was established over there. The person would be going to those blessed cities. Of course, he will need to get some blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is so much there. That's the market over for it there. But instead of going into that market, so that we can go by the Kaaba and get what we really need to get from there, we see people go and come back, nothing. We go out in the other markets over there to buy other merchandise, gifts for my families, gifts for my friends, gifts for people. But still, with all of this, I have to go back to the main point, and that is, Hajj is one of the pillars of Islam, one of the fara'id of Islam. And if anyone have not performed the Hajj yet, and we can afford to perform it, then still we have the opportunity. Wallahu a'lam what will happen next. We don't know what will be the situation in the years to come. So if we have that, if Hajj is further on us, we better grab this opportunity and perform it. But still there is time, and this is why I use this time. If we talk too close to Hajj, then we will say we don't have time to plan for it. And now I cannot get off from my work. We have to do whatever we can. First thing, convincing ourselves before we try to convince other people at our job, at our home. First thing, we need to be convinced that I have to perform it no matter what. I have to perform it. It's not an optional thing. I have to do it. And I want to do it this year because it's for this year on me. I can't walk on the surface of the earth from this year till the next year, hoping that next year Allah will give me the opportunity to perform it. And if I don't get the opportunity, the person dies before next year. His situation, financial situation will change before next year. The person is responsible. We can't take those chances for our akhirah. So therefore, we have to go back now with this in our mind, that if we have not performed it, let's plan for it. And let's go with the firm intention that inshallah, this year we will fulfill this part of Islam also. So at least the pillars of Islam are there. This is the minimum we can do for our deen, establish the pillars of Islam. So, inshallah, we have to go with this in our mind, that we establish these pillars of Islam, and we perform this fard of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in Quran, وَلِلَّهِ حَجُّ الْبَيْتِ عَلَى النَّاسِ. So, see the way he's putting it, that do it for me. How about someone comes, someone very important to you, he comes and tells you, just for my sake, do this for me. Just do this thing for my sake. This is how Allah is putting it. وَلِلَّهِ عَلَى النَّاسِ. It's for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for Allah, that you perform this Hajj, and you go to Makkah Mukarramah and perform the Hajj there. So inshallah, we go back with this intention. For those of us who have not fulfilled this fard, that we need to fulfill it this year. Don't wait for next year. Don't wait for any other time. Wallahu alam what happens. And for those of us who have performed it, it will be another virtue and reward, that we go back to the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and perform the Hajj again, and get those blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that millions of people are getting it. We get also share of our blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from there. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide all of us to Sirat al-Mustaqim. We did not talk, of course, about the ibadah of the Hajj and what we get once we go for Hajj, from the Haram, from the Tawaf, from the Sa'i, from the Hajar al-Aswad, from the Medina Munawwara. We did not talk about those things, and I won't even talk about these things at this time. At this time, the main point is that we remember we have to go there. We have to go and perform the Hajj, and inshallah, once we have people who are ready to go for Hajj, we can have sessions for them, and we can have programs for them, so that they will learn how to perform Hajj and how to benefit from Hajj. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep all of us on Sirat al-Mustaqim and give us tawfiq to fulfill all of these faraid of Islam. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين والمسلمات وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين.